Target Trading Academy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Preston Vogl here at Target Trading Academy with today's Micros Market Recap. It is Wednesday, January 18th, just after the New York close here. Let's get right into it with micro oil. Oil opened gap up from the close of yesterday. We are also technically in rollover. I'm not trading oil. I don't recommend anyone trade oil while they are still rolling over, meaning there's two active markets that are going on at this time. So with that said, again, I don't recommend trading any market that is rolling over until they are finally settled out. But getting right into it, we did open gap up from the close of yesterday, had an initial run up. They found a high, found a seller that didn't want to go up any higher, came back down, hit that HVA edge, bounced off of it. Again, these levels, these edges are drawn the night before the next day's trading activity, so they're not drawn as we go. They're drawn the evening prior. So that bounced off, came back down, broke through it, had another little bounce, came down, little bounce, and then they finally came in, got into balance, got into that close. I think it was right here, and then they made new lows for the rest of the day. So we're actually finishing net down for the day, even though we opened way gap up. As far as gold goes, well, gold also opened gap up, got hit by that 8:30 news, came down, tested that HVA edge, bounced off of it, made new highs, was fighting this contract high, but it came back down, and then used that same edge, which was once support, but now became resistance once it broke and came down, and it got its close as well, and then some, and it's closing net down as well after it opened gapped up. Now moving on to our equities, it was quite the sell-off today. It was slow, but it was definitely the sell-off today. It did start out that way. It started out painting fences, but we opened, excuse me, in the middle of the range from yesterday, towards that range high. It came up, hit that HVA edge, bounced off it. You can see that just the response at these levels. Again, these levels are drawn out the night before. You can just see how well they react around that. But finally, after they made that run up and are attempting to make new highs, the sellers just stepped in, put that pedal to the metal right here. You can see that whole shift in the attitude of the market. This here was a mere minutes as opposed to over here. This took almost an hour to develop the low and the high of that day, and then they wiped it out in 4 minutes, not even. And then that's when it set in that attitude. Sellers were getting aggressive and were serious about this move down. You can see the response again at these levels that they're holding for at least the first, maybe second time. But for that being said, those moves on the downhill kept going, and then after lunch they kind of just teetered out just a little bit. That momentum wasn't really sustained much longer, and that's where we are currently and where we're settling out now for the rest of the day. So we have a huge net down in the equities. Similar story in the Nasdaq here. Nasdaq actually opened gap up. So with that being said, it opened gap up ever so slightly. Had to move up, came back down, hit this HVA edge, bounced. You can just see painting fences in this HVA. This again, these levels are drawn the night before. So again, made new highs, and then there's a shift in the attitude of those participating, and then just that volatility increased. They didn't break that low right away. It obviously had that response, that support, but they eventually came back down again for that third time after that major move, and they broke through it, and they just headed down, making new lows. That's where we are today, finishing net down in all of our markets, despite being up before the markets opened and when the markets opened. So, interesting day. If you are interested in learning more information about these levels and how you can get them onto your charts the night before, feel free to reach out to us. We are Target Trading Academy. If you're interested in learning the methodology that we teach in our rooms every day that the markets are open, again, feel free to reach out to us. We are Target Trading Academy. You can find us on Facebook or go to our website at targettrading.co. Again, that is targettrading.co. get in touch with a representative at either location. They'll gladly show you what we do in our rooms, and you'll be able to see for yourself why we are the #1 trading education company in the world. Look forward to seeing you there.